Hello, I'm Evan Nolan, the president and co-founder of the United States Athletics Hall of Fame, here with a first-time nominee for the class of 2024. The younger of two brothers who both made the majors, Greg Allen Maddux may be the greatest pitcher since the end of World War II. Born in San Angelo, Texas in April of 1966, Greg and his older brother Mike would move with their family to Spain, where their father Dave, who was stationed there at the Air Force, would introduce both the boys to baseball. Now, the family moved back to the States and settled in Las Vegas, where the Maddux brothers would train under the eye of former Major League scout Ralph Mader. Now, it was Mader who convinced Maddux to actually throw softer when he was down the count rather than harder, which is what most people did. And Greg took that advice for the rest of his career. Known as a professor, he helped lead Valley High School to the 1983 Nevada State Championship as a junior. His brother Mike had been drafted in 1982 in the 5th round by the Phillies. And when scouts came to watch Mike, their father Dave would say, "You'll be back for the little one." But few scouts looked at the skinny, bespectacled pitcher and saw much to be excited about. That's except for Cub Scout Dave Mapson, who believed that if Maddux were just stronger, he'd be the top prospect in the country. And he convinced the Cubs to draft him in the 2nd round of the 1984 draft. Now, Maddux would make his Cubs debut in September of 1986 as a pinch runner, believe it or not, in the 17th inning of the game, and give up a home run in the 18th inning to take the loss. His next start was much better, though. He'd go complete game, and in 4 starts later, would pitch against his brother, making them the first rookies ever to pitch against each other in a Major League game. Greg, of course, won. Now, his first full season in majors didn't go as he wanted. He actually goes 6-14 with an ERA over 5.60. But his second season, 1988, would be quite an improvement, going 18-8 with a 3.18 ERA. This would start a string of 17 consecutive seasons in which Maddux would win at least 15 games, which is still a Major League record. Now, Maddux would end up becoming the Cubs' ace, culminating in his first Cy Young Award in 1992. He was a free agent after that season. Both Cubs and Maddux argued the other side wasn't negotiating in good faith, so they walked away from each other. The Cubs used their money to sign Jose Guzman, Dan Plesac, and Candy Maldonado. And Maddux went to the Braves in a 5-year deal. Moving to the Braves, Maddux became the centerpiece of what was one of the greatest rotations of all time, leading a group that included future Hall of Famers John Smoltz and Tom Glavine. The Braves would open up the 1993 season against the Cubs at Wrigley Field, with Maddux going 8 1/3 innings and as part of a Braves 1-0 win. That season, he'd win his 2nd straight Cy Young, going 20-10 with a 2.36 ERA. Now, that strike-shortened 1994 season may have been his best of all time. He went 16-6 with an ERA of 1.56, leading the league with 10 complete games. Most divisions at this point don't go 10 complete games in a season. He'd also hit 222 that season. He was very proud of the fact his batting average was actually higher than his ERA. He'd win his 3rd straight Cy Young and finish 5th in the NL MVP voting. Now, in 95, Maddux would win his 4th straight Cy Young Award, going 19-2 with an ERA of 1.63. This made Maddux the first pitcher to have back-to-back sub-2 ERA seasons since fellow nominee Walter Johnson did in 1918 and 1919. The league average for ERA that season was actually 4.23 runs, meaning that he was over 2.6 runs lower than league average. The Braves would also defeat the Cleveland Indians in the World Series that year, giving Maddux his only title. Now, Maddux would finish his career with 8 All-Star selections, 4 Cy Youngs, 3 times as the NL wins leader, 4 times the MLB ERA leader, 1 World Series rings, and he was an incredible fielder as well. He had 18 Gold Gloves and still leads the major all-time putouts for a pitcher. He'd win 355 games. That's the 8th most all-time and the most for any player's career started after World War II. He had over 3,300 strikeouts and makes him one of 10 pitchers to have at least 300 wins and 3,000 strikeouts. But also, he's the only one of those pitchers to do it while walking fewer than 1,000 batters. He actually had 999 walks in his career. His control was amazing. He actually went 51 innings in a row once without issuing a walk. His number 31 is retired by both the Cubs, who also retired that number for Ferguson Jenkins, and the Braves. And he's elected to Cooperstown in the first ballot with over 97% of the vote. He's up for the first time with us as well. Do you think he'll get in that high? Well, that's going to be up to you. You can vote for Greg Maddux or any of our other nominees for the United States Athletics Hall of Fame at www.theusahof.com. That's the United States Athletics Hall of Fame.com. Voting continues between now and we make our announcement in December. The voters' office is what we're like, as long as it's only once a day. I'll be back soon with another nominee, but until then, take care.